Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
It automatically shows a message that says this concert's not eligible for a refund.
A Moorhead woman says she spent more than $1,000 on concert tickets, only to hear that the concert was postponed. She says she can't get a refund, and now the company that sold her the tickets is being sued for millions of dollars for allegedly changing its refund policy during the pandemic. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero did some digging on this whistleblower call, learning that the company at the center of this scandal is trying to address the issue.
In an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus, social distancing guidelines are banning large crowds, prompting concerts and shows to be axed until the foreseeable future. Fargo Cass Public Health says there's no telling when we'll get out of this.
It's going to be that we still have to be really aware of our surroundings, and we have to maintain doing those same prevention practices that we've been talking about for the last 5 weeks. And that's just really good public health practice going forward for everybody.
Many health experts are predicting large gatherings will be discouraged until next year. Christy Envy of Moorhead says she bought 4 tickets to Reba McEntire's concert in Sioux Falls.
We probably bought the tickets last fall sometime.
It was supposed to happen this weekend, however, was postponed until August. A date Envy says she can't make.
And I don't think rescheduling a concert and assuming that it works for everybody is a great policy. That's extremely frustrating.
Envy says she can't get a hold of anyone at Ticketmaster, preventing her from getting a refund.
There's no ability to talk to a person to say, hey, the rescheduled date doesn't work. I'd like my money back. You just end up into an electronic circle.
That is a change in policy for Ticketmaster. The company is on the fire for changing its refund policy in light of the pandemic, and is the subject of a class action lawsuit filed by a California man, according to TMZ. In the past, ticket holders for concerts, sports, and other events that were postponed, canceled, or rescheduled were eligible for a refund. Now, only events that are canceled are refundable. In the Fargo-Moorhead area, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
The music magazine Billboard is reporting that Ticketmaster will start sending out emails on May 1st to give people the option of full refunds. They'll have 30 days to respond. This story came to us through our whistleblower hotline, and if you need help with an issue in your community, call our hotline at 701-237-6576. Leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. The COVID-19 death toll in Minnesota is up by 17 today, raising the total to 160. State health officials are also reporting 97 new confirmed cases. Today, 2,567 people in Minnesota are confirmed positive for the virus. And in North Dakota, 18 new cases were confirmed today, no new deaths. That brings the total number of coronavirus cases to 644. 13 people in the state have died. More cases of coronavirus have been confirmed at Eventide in Moorhead. Officials saying that the Eventide on 8th Care Center reports 3 additional residents and 2 staff members, and that brings the facility's total to 13 residents and 2 staff. The facility remains closed to the public. For 8 hours, authorities today searched the Clay County landfill looking for the body of a Moorhead woman who is believed to have been murdered. 19-year-old Destiny Avery was last seen in South Moorhead on April 3rd. 27-year-old Ethan Brode has been arrested on suspicion of second-degree murder in connection with her disappearance. He's admitted to authorities that her body was dismembered and placed in dumpsters. A backhoe and skid steer were used to dig through the over 2 weeks of trash. President Donald Trump says he's hoping to sign a new relief bill in the coming days. The president saluting the Senate for passing additional funding for the Paycheck Protection Program to aid small businesses along with hospitals and virus testing. The president said he expects the House to vote on the coronavirus relief measure probably tomorrow.
A short time ago, the Senate passed the Paycheck Protection Program and Healthcare Enhancement Act, with additional funding for the Paycheck Protection Program, hospitals, and testing. A lot of money for all of them, especially for our workers and our small businesses.
When asked about a potential re-emergence of the virus in the winter, the president responded that there will be a time when this is all gone, like gone. From beef to pork, what you buy at the grocery store and for how much might be changing. Our national investigative team looks at meatpacking plants that are closing around the country. Here's Investigate TV's Lee Zurich with our COVID-19 tracker.
Plants in at least 8 different states that supply much of your meat are temporarily shutting down by force or choice. Smithfield Foods has closed plants in Missouri, Wisconsin, and South Dakota. At that South Dakota plant, at least 700 employees have now tested positive for COVID-19. Experts and farmers worry these shutdowns could lead to a shortage in meat.
We have abundance of meat production right now and milk, but the thing is, it's not getting through the pipe.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, when you compare the second week of April in 2019 to 20, beef production is down nearly 20%, but demand is up.
The demand in hamburger or ground meat products really increased over the last month because that's what people like to cook in their homes.
Dale Werner is a meat science researcher at Texas Tech University. He says consumers might need to adjust and eat meat they're not used to buying.
We're producing a lot less meat, so we will see less meat available for the consumer as a result of less animals being harvested. But frankly, I don't know that it'll be that noticeable to the everyday consumer.
Like, there will be meat available. They just may not be the meat you want sometimes. Is that fair?
That's a fair statement, I believe. It may come in a different form, or you may have cuts available to you that you aren't used to cooking with or to consuming on a regular basis. So you may have to introduce more variety in the type of meats that you're buying.
Some plants have reopened. In Iowa, the National Beef Plant reopened Monday, and a Tyson plant planned to reopen Tuesday. It shut down after 200 employees got sick and 2 died. The governor there is still pushing for facilities to stay open with reduced staff.
This isn't like a regular facility where you shut it down for 2 weeks. We provide a third of the nation's pork supply. It's about 25 million a year. And so if we aren't able to move them through the process, at some point, we're going to have to be talking about euthanizing hogs, and we're not that far from it.
The plant closings have caused a backup in the supply system. Livestock aren't being harvested on time. What this all means, while it might impact you a little at the grocery, producers might be fighting for survival.
Agriculture in general is a low margin business, and so these guys are really working hard to make any money at all as it is. And frankly, right now, with the prices the way that they are, they're losing money.
Some processing plants have added new worker protections. For example, Purdue Farms says it has in place plastic barriers between workers and changes them between shifts. It is also taking the temperatures of workers. West Acres Mall is extending its closure beyond the April 30th date that it set earlier this month, and there's no new timeline on when it plans to reopen. The mall closed in March to slow the spread of the coronavirus outbreak. West Acres did announce that extending the temporary closure is the best and only way to continue to protect the health and safety of our community, customers, and staff. West Acres says its next announcement will include a date and reopening strategy. Some drivers in the metro will need to take a detour for their morning commute. University Drive North in Fargo will be reduced to 1 lane between 9th and 10th Avenues beginning tomorrow morning. Crews need to repair a stretch of the roadway that had been patched earlier. The closure is expected to last 1 week. For some cabin owners on Lake Mille Lacs, when the ice starts to thaw, you hope the wind is blowing in the opposite direction. The seasonal change means massive piles of ice are being pushed on land. In some cases, those piles are estimated to be about 30 feet high, and the wind was gusting at 40 miles per hour. The silver lining, if you will, is the ice is relatively soft and crumbles easily, but sometimes it makes landfall in really big solid chunks that could damage a lot more houses and more severely.